Midnight, your retirement dream. Are you truly prepared? Imagine this for a moment. You wake up on a Tuesday morning with no alarm clock buzzing. The sun is streaming through your window, and your only decision is whether to enjoy your coffee in the garden or on the porch. Your time is finally completely your own. This is a picture of retirement you've held in your mind for decades, the reward for a lifetime of hard work and careful saving. It is a picture of peace, freedom, and security. But for too many, this beautiful picture can be threatened, not by some grand disaster, but by a series of small, quiet financial oversights. Think of it as financial friction, tiny, cumulative issues that, over time, can erode the very foundation of the security you've built. Today, we're not here to create fear or anxiety. Instead, think of this conversation as a crucial financial health checkup for your retirement. We're going to transition our mindset from one of accumulation, the saving and growing of money, to one of preservation and distribution, which requires an entirely new set of skills and awareness. We will walk the four most significant and costly money mistakes that well-intentioned people make every single day in retirement, so you can be empowered to protect your dream and live these golden years with the true peace of mind you have so rightfully earned. 125. Mistake 1. Drastically underestimating healthcare costs. The first and arguably the most impactful mistake is viewing healthcare in retirement as a predictable, manageable line item in a budget. We meticulously plan for our housing, food, and travel, but the true, dynamic cost of staying healthy can be the single biggest financial shock of our later years. Let's consider the story of Brenda. At 67, she retired from her teaching career, feeling confident and prepared. Her spreadsheets were a work of art, with every anticipated expense accounted for. She had a fund for her dream trip to the English countryside and another for converting a spare room into a craft studio. She had factored in her Medicare premiums and felt she had all her bases covered. But healthcare in retirement is a multi-layered challenge. First, there are the premiums, deductibles, and co-pays that exist even with government programs like Medicare. But the real budget breakers are the things that fall into the gaps. Within 2 years, Brenda needed a significant dental implant. She was shocked to learn this common procedure was barely covered by her insurance, resulting in a bill of thousands of dollars paid out of pocket. A year later, she developed hearing loss, and the reality of purchasing quality hearing aids presented another staggering, unplanned expense. These weren't catastrophic illnesses. They were the routine realities of aging. But the biggest shadow of all, the one Brenda hadn't truly confronted, was a potential cost of long-term care. This is a specter that haunts many retirement plans. The cost of in-home assistance, assisted living, or a nursing home can be astronomical, capable of wiping out a lifetime of savings in just a few short years. Many people mistakenly believe Medicare will cover this. For the most part, it does not. Brenda's story shows us that robust retirement planning isn't just about having health insurance. It's about having a dedicated healthcare fund for out-of-pocket costs and, most importantly, a clear, honest strategy for potential long-term care needs, whether it's through specific insurance, a designated investment fund, or family planning. 330. Mistake 2. Being too conservative with your investments. After decades of navigating the volatile ups and downs of the stock market, the desire to protect your nest egg becomes paramount. The natural instinct is to flee from risk, to pull your money out of stocks and place it in the perceived safety of a savings account or low-yield bonds. While this strategy shields you from the drama of market fluctuations, it exposes your life savings to a far more insidious and relentless threat: inflation. Let's look at the story of David and Susan. The day David retired, they sat down with their financial statements and made a swift decision. They moved their entire portfolio into a high-yield savings account, breathing a collective sigh of relief. Their money was finally safe. For the first few years, they felt brilliant. Their account balance never went down a single dollar. But inflation is like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it at first, but over a long journey, it leaves you stranded. David and Susan began to notice it in small ways. The weekly grocery bill crept up from $150 to $200. The cost of gas for their car to visit their grandchildren in a few states over made them rethink the trip's frequency. The charming little hotel they stayed at for their anniversary had raised its prices by 30% over 5 years. Their money was safe, but its purchasing power was silently bleeding out. They were losing the ability to live the lifestyle they had planned for. A simple financial concept called the Rule of 72 illustrates this perfectly. If inflation is running at 3%, your money's purchasing power will be cut in half in 24 years. 72 divided by 3 is equal to 24. Since a retirement can easily last 25 or 30 years, this is not a hypothetical risk. It is a mathematical certainty. The mistake wasn't in wanting safety. It was in misidentifying the true risk. The risk in retirement isn't just losing money in a market downturn. It's the far greater risk of outliving your money because it failed to grow. A well-balanced plan needs a portion of funds that can still work for you, aiming for growth that outpaces inflation to ensure your last check doesn't bounce. 545, mistake 3, ignoring the retirement risk zone. Financial professionals often talk about a treacherous period known as the sequence of returns risk. It's a complex term for a simple and potentially devastating concept. It means that a major market downturn in the 5 years before you retire and the 5 years after you retire can have a profoundly more damaging effect than a downturn at any other time in your life. The timing of market returns matters immensely when you start making withdrawals. This is exactly what happened to Robert, an engineer who had planned his retirement with precision. He was set to leave his job at 65. His retirement date fell in late 2008. The global financial crisis struck at the worst possible moment. He was no longer just an investor. He was about to become a spender, needing to sell assets to fund his living expenses. He was forced to sell his investments low, locking in catastrophic losses from which his portfolio could never fully recover. Think of it this way. Imagine 2 farmers who each experienced 10 good harvests and 2 terrible droughts over a 12-year period. Farmer 8 gets his 2 droughts at the very end. He's already built his wealth and does fine. Farmer B gets his 2 droughts right at the beginning. He has to eat his seed corn to survive, crippling his ability to plant for future good years. He goes broke. Both farmers had the same number of good and bad years, but the sequence changed everything. Robert was Farmer B. A portfolio that should have sustained him and his wife for life was permanently impaired. The trip to see the Northern Lights was canceled. The promise to help his granddaughter with college tuition had to be broken. He had to return to work as a consultant for 6 more years. The lesson is crucial. As you approach that critical retirement risk zone, you must have a strategy to protect yourself, such as building a cash buffer 1 to 3 years' worth of living expenses. This buffer allows you to pay your bills during a market downturn without being forced to sell your growth assets at the worst possible time. 8 o'clock, mistake 4, forgetting that you still have a partner named Uncle Sam. Finally, a surprisingly common and costly oversight is underestimating the impact of taxes in retirement. We spend our careers watching taxes come out of our paychecks, but many people look at their 401k or traditional IRA balance as a single, large number that is all theirs. They mentally plan their entire future around that gross figure, forgetting that the tax man still gets a share. Meet Carol. She diligently saved for 40 years and was immensely proud to see her retirement account hit the $1 million mark. She did the math and calculated that a standard 4% withdrawal would give her a comfortable $40,000 a year, or about $3,300 a month. She planned her budget around this number. But when she took her first distribution, she was stunned. After federal and state taxes were withheld, her net income was closer to $2,500. That $800 monthly difference was her entire budget for hobbies, travel, and dining out with friends. The reason is simple. With a traditional 401k or IRA, you get a tax break on the money you put in, but you pay ordinary income tax on every dollar you take out. Carol had planned her life based on the pre-tax number, and the reality forced an immediate and stressful lifestyle adjustment. The solution lies in understanding and planning. This means creating a budget based on your estimated after-tax income and exploring tax diversification, having funds in different account types, tax-deferred like a 401k, tax-free like a Roth IRA, and taxable like a brokerage account, to give you flexibility and control over your taxable income each year. 940. Taking control of your financial future. Hearing these stories is not meant to cause alarm. It is meant to empower you. By understanding these common pitfalls, the true cost of healthcare, the silent erosion of inflation, the danger of the retirement risk zone, and the persistence of taxes, you are now equipped with a map to navigate the terrain ahead. You can ask smarter questions of your financial advisor. You can make more informed decisions. You can build a retirement plan that is resilient, realistic, and truly allows you to protect the vision you have held for so long. Your journey and your wisdom are unique. We would be honored if you would share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these points was most enlightening for you? Or is there another financial concern you believe is important to discuss? Sharing a small piece of your experience could be a guiding light for someone else who is feeling uncertain. If you found this video valuable, please give a thumbs up, subscribe for more essential wisdom, and share with a friend or family member who is planning for this beautiful chapter of life. Thank you for your time and attention today. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.